The movie begins with Modesto, who is a child with paranormal abilities, meaning he can see the ghosts around him. It tells the story of an incident that happened when he was young at a school party. He saw a woman who made him fascinated, but what we didn't know was that the woman was actually a ghost. Curious, Modesto kissed the woman, and then his friends laughed and felt weird about Modesto's behavior. And then, in a short time, Modesto grew up. His paranormal abilities were still there, but he only considered it as a hallucination. He often had to take medicine to get rid of his ability to see ghosts or what other people couldn't see. Modesto worked as a teacher at a school, and his students also thought he was weird because of his abilities. This made him uncomfortable and always moved from one school to another to apply as a teacher. On the other hand, he moved to a school called Montfort, which was headed by Tina Escalanilla. Although the school looked good, it was threatened to be closed due to the frequent occurrence of strange and horror things at the school. For example, lately many teachers resigned, so the school needed more teachers to teach the students who were very noisy and had bad behavior. And even worse, there was a suicide attempt by a literature teacher who we don't know what caused it. Because of this, Tina was called by the school board to be held accountable, and she was accompanied by Otegui, who was one of the representatives. And Tina was given time until the end of the semester to fix everything so that the school activities could run normally again. At the same time, when the school needed a new teacher, Modesto came to apply as a teacher. Tina was very impressed by his resume and some achievements that he had achieved, so he was immediately accepted on that day. On his first day of teaching, he was confused about the class that he would teach, until he met a girl who was enjoying watching the choir at the school. But the girl was surprised and left without answering Modesto's question. Modesto then asked another student about the location of the class that he would teach, and he was directed to a strange place, which was the end of the top floor. It turned out that Modesto was pranked by the students. He then continues to the top floor of the school, which looks deserted and not like a classroom, but like a place that has been hit by a fire tragedy, filled with some books. And there Modesto sees some teenagers who are a little confused by Modesto. They try to approach and scare Modesto, but Modesto is even more confused. What is really happening? Suddenly the teenagers scream in fear, and Modesto leaves the room. And it turns out that they are all ghosts who usually stay on the top floor of the school and are students who have died. They are students from the year 1986, a long time ago, and of course only Modesto can see them. He immediately runs out of the school because he still can't accept that he still sees ghosts. But here Tina is curious about what Modesto saw and invites Modesto to tell her what happened. Modesto returns to the school that night and explains what he saw. And on the other hand, it turns out that there are some students, Elsa, who secretly visit the school to play Ouija with her friends, and the ghosts join in playing with her. Here we see a chase scene between the ghosts and the student, and from this incident, Elsa communicates with one of the ghosts named Jorge and makes her feel a little attraction to him. Tina asks Modesto to expel and make them leave the school. With a little persuasion and convincing, Modesto agrees to help, and now he becomes more confident when he sees ghosts around him. The next day, Modesto returns to the school to teach the ghost students on the top floor. First, there's Angela, a ghost girl who loves music and reading books. She often watches the choir and even tries to sing, which of course makes the students scared and run away. Then there is Pinfloy, who likes alcohol and getting drunk, making him often nauseous and vomiting. Jorge is a ghost who is super in love and interested in Elsa. Danny is a ghost who looks like a tough guy among the others, the most mischievous and temperamental ghost. And lastly, there is Maravi, a ghost who is pregnant. She has a memory of a man who she is crazy about. These ghosts often haunt the school, from possessing and scaring the students and teachers, and Modesto is often the target of their jokes. Modesto tells them the reason why they are still here. If you are already dead, you should be at peace and not be in this world anymore. The ghosts also want to rest and return to where they belong, because they have started to feel bored with this wandering situation. According to Modesto, this happened because there was unfinished business by the ghosts, and what he thought was graduation and exams for them, which caused them to wander. Because of that, Modesto then became a teacher for the ghosts, so that their business was finished and they could return to their realm. The ghosts agreed to it. In a short time, Modesto spent his days teaching them all, so that on the day of their exam, they could finish and get good grades. He also became closer to the ghosts, and made the ghosts eager to end their wandering. This is because they think this is not the real life. Then the scene shifts to the conversation between Modesto and Tina, who are sad and feel hopeless because the Founders' Day or the school anniversary will soon take place. Tina is confused because the school told her to expel the ghosts who are considered to be disturbing from the school. Modesto tries to convince Tina that after they take the exam, everything will be over and the situation will be fine. And from here, there was already love between Modesto and Tina. The ghosts who saw them also supported them. The exam day for the ghosts, or the decisive day, begins. They do the exam given by Modesto as a graduation requirement. It looks like Angela, who is smart, is doing it quietly, and the other ghost friends are trying to cheat in their own ways. And from this exam, they get results that make them happy. They all pass. But instead of being able to return to where they should be after the graduation exam, nothing happens. The ghosts feel cheated, and this provokes the ghosts to become angry and try to bother humans again. Modesto is also confused. Modesto tries to talk to them all that he didn't lie at all about the fact that if they had finished their business, they could return to where they should be. Modesto asks them to be honest with each other without hiding anything from them, and from here it is known that Danny is the cause of their deaths. The other ghosts are shocked to hear it, and Danny leaves them all at once and is followed by Modesto, who leaves the school because he has been fired due to Otegi, who provoked the other parents so that he was fired. And this causes Modesto to be angry with Tina. Messages and phone calls are also not answered by Modesto. And without knowing what else to do, Tina tries to ask for help from the ghost to persuade Modesto to come back to the school. And the ghost used the administrative staff woman to lure Modesto to come back to the school by saying that Tina is in love with him. And the next day, the Founders' Day has arrived, or the decisive day whether the school will be closed or not. And the important guest of this event is the school board and the parents. Modesto also turns out to be present at the event and meets Tina. And because of this, Otegoi is annoyed because he doesn't like Modesto, who is weird, and says he can see ghosts. And because Modesto might be an obstacle for him, he tries to prove that the ghosts he sees are real and visible. And from here it turns out that Otegi is the boyfriend who impregnated Maravi. But now everything has been exposed. Otegui didn't want to take responsibility for Marivi, so Marivi gets angry at him. The Founders' Day event is filled with performances from the students, but their performances are dull and make the guests sleepy and fall asleep. Because of this, Modesto directs Angela, who loves music, to possess a student there and take over to sing. Without further ado, Angela agrees, and suddenly the event becomes lively, and the guests, including the school board, are happy with the atmosphere. Otegui opposes this whole thing, of course. He doesn't like it and takes over the stage. And then Danny possesses him and makes Otegui give a bad statement if he is appointed as the principal here. Everyone there knows about it and thinks that Otegui did it himself, even though he didn't. So they think badly of Otegui and make the school continue and still be headed by Tina. In short, the scene shifts to the school party. The ghosts gather and include Danny, who apologizes for his wrong actions towards them all, and the other ghosts forgive him. When they are having fun, without realizing it, Elsa wants to commit suicide. Luckily, in the end, Modesto manages to remind her, and Jorge manages to express his feelings of love to Elsa and succeeds in thwarting Elsa's bad attempt to commit suicide. And because of this, slowly but surely, the business of each ghost is almost finished. Angela, who wants to sing and is honest about her behavior. Marivi, who knows the evil of her boyfriend, aka Otegui. Jorge, who is saved and let go of the girl he loves so that she can live. And lastly, Pinfloy, who in his life wants to party at the school party. They follow Pinfloy's wish without delay. In the middle of the party, it is seen that Modesto and Tina are getting closer and starting their love story. After the party is over and the business of all the ghosts is finished, not long after that a bright light appears and indicates that they will all return to where they should be. And in an instant, they disappear back to their place, and the movie ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.